everyone, it's Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and today I thought we would talk a little bit more about retirement and decluttering. I have been working on decluttering so hard for the last 2 years, and I'm 55 years old, and I have talked a few times about getting started with that. If you are of the age that you know you're wanting to downsize, that you know you may be wanting to move for retirement or have a second home, or any of these things that might make it where you just realize at some point you have too much stuff and you're not going to use all of this stuff and you don't need all of this stuff. Decluttering has changed the lens in the way I see life, and that is deep, but it is so deep. And for me, it has been a crazy transition from having things stored everywhere and not even thinking about it, to realizing when I'm visiting people and they talk about back bedrooms that they can't get into of things they haven't seen in years, I'm sitting there going, wow, I would have never thought anything about this before. But now I'm sitting there going, I am so glad I've started this process, even though I have so far to go. I spent all day yesterday trying to work on throwing some things away that were just ruined and trash from a building that I had things stored in. And this morning I woke up hurting so bad I could hardly move. I could hardly roll out of bed. And things like that make me wish I would have started sooner. I talked to a lady today that was in her 80s that's starting to try to go through things. Don't wait that long, guys. There is so much bending and lifting, and your joints take a terrible beating trying to sort through things. Even if it's just clothes, even your fingers the next day hurt if you have arthritis. So take my word for it and start now. But we have so many things about decluttering that as we get into our 50s and 60s, we start realizing that we have all of these things that we've saved, and maybe we've saved them from prior generations, and they saved them, and now we're saving them. And so are we just going to keep saving them generation after generation? There was a set of silverware that I was going to give to my daughter, and my other daughter said, oh, you can't use those silverware. They're only for special occasions. No, they're not. Why do we do that to ourselves? Use the silverware. Enjoy the silverware. And like I said, this has changed the way I have looked at things over my life, because let me show you something absolutely ridiculous that I saved and never used. I have a mug from 1984. I graduated in 1984. This mug has gone from house to house, state to state with me as I have moved. And I never used this mug. I never broke this mug. I was so proud I had not broken this mug as many times as I had moved it. But then I look at it now through a different lens, and I'm like, how silly is this? That I carried this mug state to state, house to house, and never put a liquid inside of it because I was too scared of breaking it, and I thought I shouldn't use it because it was something special. I'm using it now. This year, at 55 years old, I am starting to use a 37-year-old mug. How silly is that? And we do this to ourselves all the time, and we think it's okay and we think it's normal. Let me show you something else. This is my grandmother's china. It is gold trimmed, and she used it just on special occasions. Then it was handed down to my dad, who kept it in a china hutch, who then handed it down to me, and I keep it in a china hutch. I have used the deviled eggs dishes that match this during holidays, but other than that, I've never touched the bowls, the cups, the plates. They have sat untouched because they were my grandmother's good china, and I didn't want to risk breaking them or messing them up. This is what we do to ourselves. We don't enjoy these things. We don't use these things. And maybe we're saving them for the next generation, but how many generations are going to save these, move these, try not to break these, display these, and never put any food on them? It just puts your whole perspective through a different lens, like I was saying. So use the silverware, use the plates. And if there are things you're not using as you're decluttering, make that money work for you. That money has been spent. If it's something that you can use, then use it. If it's something you can sell, sell it and use it now so you can enjoy your retirement. Don't keep stacking these things, saving these things in rooms that someone's going to have to go through. I've been through this so many times. I've been through this with parents. I've been through this with brothers, where you have to go through their things and decide what to keep and what to throw away. It is so hard for the family to do that. Do that yourself so that you know what's important. And that's what Swedish death cleaning is. Swedish death cleaning is where you go through your things and you decide what's important, so that you don't leave it for the people behind you to try to figure out what was important. In one case, my brother just went into the nursing home, and we were forced to go through his things to figure out what was important. And when you're looking through it through a different lens, you might decide things are not important that he would think is important. And you can't ask about every little thing when you're on a time frame trying to get a house cleaned out because it's been sold. So save what you love. Sell what you can sell. Throw away what is actually trash. And make your junk work for you. You know, sell the things that you can and make it work for you. Get a little bit of money tucked away to do something special. You've earned it. You should enjoy that. And go through those garages. Go through those outbuildings. I have been shocked at some of the things I have been able to find that were still in mint condition, that were very old, that were still okay where I could sell them, and now they were worth something because I pack ratted them too long. But don't do that, because they might be worth something, because they might not. I found an entire stack of Entertainment Tonight magazines in mint condition that were my son's from 2001. They're worth 20 to 40 cents each. Don't use your valuable real estate to save things because they might be worth something, because more than likely they're going to draw moisture, they're going to end up molded, they're going to end up ruined, and you could have had that money in your pocket of where you either spent the money or you were able to sell something. Begin now. That's my best advice. It takes more time than you think. My husband and I have been looking forward to retirement and maybe having a second smaller home in another state. And we don't want to take all of this with us, but we do want it cleaned out so that it's not left here to return to when we come during the months that we return home. We don't want to take all of this with us. We want to take just what we need. And when you move into a small house or you move into a new house, you're so excited to decorate it because you look at all these model homes and you go, wow, these are so comfortable. They're so beautiful. And do you know why? Because they're not cluttered. People buy a new RV and they're so excited because it's not cluttered. And then we move all our stuff into there and it just changes the whole feeling. So we can do that with our own houses. We can do that now, even in retirement if we plan on staying. So use the good china. Use that 1984 mug. Sell what you don't want. And use that money for something you do. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.